SVR IAS Academy welcomes you to the online video lectures for IAS 2016 examination. ComeOnIndia.com is our website. In this current affairs video lecture, we will teach you about some interesting facts on Iceland and India-Iceland relations. You may ask one question: why should you study about Iceland, which is located far away from India, for civil service examination? Iceland coming in the news recently because of the Panama Papers leak. In our separate video lecture, we will cover about Panama Papers and related concepts like offshore accounts, how they are operated, and what are tax havens, what is black money, how to define black money, and what is Black Money Act of 2015 in India. We will teach you in our separate video lecture under paid service section. And recently, Prime Minister of Iceland has resigned from the post because of the Panama Papers scandal. We advise you to prepare well on shell companies, what are they, how they operate, and so on. Iceland is a Nordic island country. Nordic island country. Nordic countries are located in Northern Europe and North Atlantic. Nordic countries are located in the Northern Europe and North Atlantic. In this image, you can locate the Nordic countries. They are Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Faroe Islands, and Iceland. Faroe Islands belongs to UK. While studying geography, you may come across a word called Scandinavian countries. Scandinavian countries. They are Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Usually, Finland is not included under Scandinavian countries category. Now let's come back to the topic of Iceland. Iceland is a Nordic island country located between North Atlantic and Arctic Ocean. Is located between North Atlantic and Arctic Ocean. Some interesting facts are: Iceland is the most sparsely populated country in Europe. It is the most sparsely populated country in the Europe. Iceland is volcanically and geologically active region. If you locate the Iceland in the following image, you can see that Iceland is located just outside the Arctic Circle. Just outside the Arctic Circle. So, it is expected that most of the Iceland regions should be covered with ice. So, most of the parts of the Iceland should have covered with ice, but only 10% of the Iceland region is covered with ice and glaciers. So remaining 90% is not covered with ice. What is the reason for that? Gulf Stream is responsible for warming potential or warming effect on the Iceland. Locate the Gulf Stream in the following image. Gulf Stream is a warm current that starts from the Gulf of Mexico and reaches to the Britain, Northern Europe and Iceland and makes the region warmer so that population can live there. So Iceland is one of the most sparsely populated country in the world and it is the most sparsely populated country in Europe. The currency of Iceland is krona, and Iceland is a parliamentary constitutional republic. One difference between Indian and Iceland constitution is that President of Iceland is elected directly by popular vote for a term of 4 years. In India, President enjoys 5 years tenure, whereas in Iceland, President has 4 years tenure, and in India, President is elected indirectly, whereas in Iceland, President is elected directly. Another very important point is that Iceland is on Greenwich Mean Time. Iceland is on Greenwich Mean Time throughout the year. So there is no need to go on daylight saving time. So Iceland does not go on daylight saving time. About Greenwich Mean Time and daylight saving time concept, we will cover in our separate video lecture in geography section. Now let's discuss about India-Iceland relations. 3 to 4 points will be sufficient, and the relationship is not important from the mains point of view. There are some differences between India and Iceland. India is the world's second most populous nation in the world, with more than 120 crore population. But in Iceland, only 3 to 4 lakh people live there. But Iceland was the first Nordic country to publicly extend its support to India's candidature for permanent membership of the UN Security Council. India and Iceland in the last 1 or 2 decades signed some important agreements like double taxation avoidance, bilateral investment promotion and protection agreement, air services agreement, sustainable fisheries development, energy, earthquake prediction research, and so on. In recent years, Iceland is emerging as a new location for film shooting for Bollywood and other South Indian film industries. That's all about the important facts on Iceland and India-Iceland relations. Revise all the points and all the best.